it's doing like that. And that little part of me just thinks there's probably no point learning 10th now because 11th is not far
Now,
away, right?
I disagree because between 9th and 10th is a full rules reset. So everything goes to
Right.
indexes. Every faction gets its codexes completely redone. This will be like an 8th to 9th. So it'll be like a 10.5. So the core rules will stay the same. So what they'll do is all the changes they've made
Okay.
through 10th edition, they'll bang that in a new rule book with a couple of other changes. All the keywords will stay the same. Like they'll keep the sustained hits, they'll
Oh,
keep the
okay.
lethal hits, they'll keep the
Okay.
base, they'll keep how the basic game works will stay the same. They'll just think, all right, these are certain things we need to improve on. We'll put that in the rule book, and everybody's codex
Right.
should carry on. So the idea is, unless you're a Space Marine
Right.
player and get it day one like they always do, you will be stuck with your codex that will be able to play in 11th edition until your codex refreshes. So I can still play with my 10th edition
Right.
codex.
Okay.
The 9th till 10th was the big reset, the great indexing they
Right.
call it, where everybody gets all their factions get
Right.
removed, and everybody got index cards from day one. So everyone had full index cards. All the rules were free as well. So all you could access everybody's index cards in 10th edition at the start. You could see everybody's army, and then it slowly got locked behind a paywall. But we won't go into that. But
Mm.
yeah,
Mm.
so it only happens once every 2 to 3 editions.
Right. Okay. So actually, unit edition 11's more just going to be like 10.5
Yes, that's what
in a
everybody's
way.
hoping for. It would be nobody thinks it's going to be a big reset. It would be stupid after
Right.
all the work. This is the best the game's been in 10 years, competitively wise.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So rules wise, it's very
But
balanced.
GW do like to mix it up, and they do make random decisions
They
at
do.
times.
The biggest difference between 10th and 11th might be they might bring back a little bit more granularity on the wargear options. So depends on how they want to do
Right.
that. They might do that. That's the one thing that they've been missing is for a bit more flavour.
So where you can pick for a character like what weapons, and then
Yeah,
that changes the points,
if you want
or
to give him a pulse pistol, you pay the extra 10. You want to give him like a plasma pistol, extra 10
yeah,
points or 5 points.
yeah,
There's little bits so you could hit that 2,000. It might not be as extreme as it was. Like my crisis suits,
yeah,
instead of having to be able to pick what I wanted, got split up into 3 different data sheets that could only bring 2 of each of the
yeah,
weapons. So I
yeah.
don't know how they'll change. They might bring a little bit back. They might not. I don't know how they'll do it, but they might bring a little bit of flavour back and some little things like characters. I think they'll do it for characters. So if your character wants to bring a thingy, you can only charge extra 5 points. But if you just want to bring it there, you can do. That's the sort of thing I reckon they'll do.
Do you think that's a good thing?
Yeah, I think spending an hour and a half building a list, or 2.5 hours building a list, and you have to go into every single guy and individually put on an extra weapon for 5 points is annoying. And I didn't
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that
yeah,
aspect. But I should be able to go into my like crisis commander and add on. Okay, you want to get if you want the better guns, you can have the better guns, but you got to pay more points for it. I don't mind that.
yeah,
Your characters,
yeah,
you should be able to go into more detail and customize your characters, but your base infantry
yeah.
and stuff shouldn't need to do that. That's my view. Some people will disagree with me quite strongly.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. Like I was quite surprised when I read the recent Sisters Codex, because that's the point when I learned that, oh right, you don't really have points to then buy an extra weapon or a more powerful weapon. It's all just kind of balanced, like you can
Baked
either have
in, yeah.
this
It's all
option
baked
or
into the
that
better.
option. Yeah, which in a way, like, it makes it simpler as like an entry point, because you can't necessarily build a character wrong, let's say, like, or you just pick a random combination. It's sort of going to work maybe better against one army or one situation or whatever. So maybe it's more sort of beginner friendly. But yeah, I was quite surprised that you couldn't. So back in the day, you'd have like your Space Marine captain, and then, well, I'm going to give him this weapon and this power weapon, and he's going to be able to do this, and he's going to have this grenade, and da 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 da. And then it'd be like half your points. That's you've decided to do that with your character, and then you can kit bash it and all the rest. So, like you said, flavor just added a little bit more to the
Yeah, they did the
feel of it.
enhancements. They've done the enhancements which go really nicely. I like that. But there's like little things that don't make sense about some of the enhancements. Like I have a fusion blade on a commander, but it's a gun. People ask me this all the time. There's an enhancement called fusion blades, which means I get 2 really nice fusion blasters, but they're not fusion blades. It's missile. It's not in melee. Now I would love that. I would love for that to be melee. I would love to have fusion
Yeah,
blades,